Hey, it's Yakuza. I need a I need a name. I need a name of the title. Title of the name. I'll just use the same name I usually use. Yakuza like a Pagi. And I'm playing Yakuza like a dragon. There you go. Apply. Or done, excuse me. It's not the right word, it's overhead. Not that any of this works. Continue game. Chapter 10. I will load Justice Tempered by Mercury. Nothing you do to stop me. So I'm on chapter 9. This is a synopsis. Meet Chairman Hoshino. We could do some side quests. No, I want to wait till chapter 12. That's right. It's so loud. It's Tetris. There we go. With the audio. I'm going the wrong way. No, I'm not. We're going up to the... Yeah, right. I will do that fight up there. Excuse me, sir. I didn't see you there. It's my bad. Kinda walked. Furbies is trash. They're playing Furbies in GTA. This feels wrong. Alright, boys. You want everything, please? We're all full, so give me... We're gonna get money up. It's not even a point. Really would just stop them from attacking me. Because if it was like every other game, which it is, it despawns the enemies when you do anything with anybody. We're just battling it over here. But it might pull me into a cutscene. Alright, we're fighting anyway. Scared. There's Twister. Ah, jeez, dude, don't do it. He can find his way. Nice one. I should probably take control because that chef's gonna be a nightmare. Cool. Been doing it easy. They walk like zombies. Look at the zombie mode from Saints Row 2. I remember. We have to eat, we have to eat. Scorching breath is a nightmare. I'm gonna eat, and... A gift for you. Sorry, chef. There's clothes. Bring it on. She was secret stuff. Yeah. Town Park. I'll just watch it. And the right paperwork to the red office and everything. Why is this happening? Where's my part-time hero? Then must be my client. I have to play part-time hero? Question mark. Doing some scouting. And then next thing I know, I'm being pulled aside by some thugs. This is my first assignment to get approved. I can't afford to screw things up. I'm in the park in Chinatown.
This could get rough.
However, the way I'm a part-time hero, listen, you can't just butt into other people's work. What's that? You're the one butting into other people's work. Don't give us any lip, big boy.
Sharp as a knife. Bring it on. Watch me. You're in it now.
Sure you can beat me?
Take this.
I'm watching.
There's something.
I got this.
He's dead, Jim.
Eyes on
I'll
me.
show you. Lucky.
To one shot would be very nice. You did it.
Let's go.
You sure you want to get hurt?
We to fire. mean, you're weak to pigeon raider, but that doesn't really matter. So it's... God. Are you weak to any of this stuff?
You wanna fight?
You're
Who
in
dies?
for it now.
What if I hit you with a
Come on now!
lightning strike?
Divine retribution!
Underestimate me.
I got this.
Would I hit you?
Right.
Bring it on.
I have secrets too. You can have it.
You have a water nade?
Let's do it. Yeah. Watch this.
Sure you can beat me?
Fun with this.
We're gonna eat, so it's totally fine with this.
Cool. Check
And we
this
go to
out.
them with a bucket of ice.
I wouldn't underestimate me.
Watch me.
Yeah?
Clear the way.
We won.
With finesse.
With finesse. Black belt and dull eliminate. What up here too, right? That's only that restaurant down there. We have to be done this challenge. Or accolade.
Ooh, they're selling Onomichio-kun merch here.
Ono Michio-kun?
The mascot for Onomichi. His head's a Hasaku. I put on one of those costumes and helped out the staff not too long ago.
What do you mean you helped them?
I punched out some assholes that were selling fake Michio goods. Showed those guys a real good time.
Sounds like the perfect way for you to help out.
So, you beat up thugs while wearing a wacky costume?
Well, you should give it a try, Namba. Might suit you, too.
No, sir. I wouldn't be caught dead in that thing. Last thing I want to do is get my ass handed to me looking like that.
Well, you got me there.
I'm ready for anything.
Anything new in here? I already own one of these of each. I thought maybe because of the quest, you could something with that outfit, but I guess not. I don't think one of everything is. But whatever the recommended item, because I'm on this place anyway.
Me.
Delicious.
I know now we have a new member, so I meant to go back to each and every place and order all the items in the menu. But at that point, I guess just wait until you have everybody. It was even progress for like story-wise, or just like a checkbox.
I went ahead and got started.
You sure you don't mind treating me?
What? Are you actually able to pay?
Wish I could, but I don't think they'd take this.
You don't sound like you're gonna relax during this meal.
Depends on what you say. Hopefully I'll relax enough to enjoy the duck. So, how do you know Arakawa-san? I'm on the edge of my seat here.
It wasn't long after the war the counterfeit bills started being produced in Ijincho. It was top secret. Only the heads of the Seiryu clan and the Liumang, plus some officers, knew about it. Outside of that inner circle, they also had to hire people to smuggle the bills.
Smugglers?
And one of them was a traveling actor. His name was Toshio Arakawa. He was Masumi Arakawa's father.
What?
One day, he came to us saying he lost an entire suitcase filled with 100 mil in fake yen. No excuse in the world could have saved him. A mistake that grave required the Seiryu clan to make an example out of him.
Well,
And
hello.
the other smugglers. But remember, only a few people at the top even knew about the counterfeiting.
And he's gone.
It wasn't
Alright.
a task they could hand to just anybody.
Well,
So
hello.
I, being next in line to inherit the clan, was entrusted to carry it out.
So did you... You actually...
Yes. I killed Toshio Arakawa, father of Masumi Arakawa, in this very place, 40 years ago.
Well, hello.
But I had
How
no
you doing?
idea who was in the room with
I'm
my
good.
target.
Oh,
The time I
just
learned it
so
was his
bored
14-year-old
playing
son.
silence that I don't care.
It
I
was
just
too
need to
late.
talk to
You
somebody.
can hang out.
I had to go through with the hit.
He
knowing
was
This
bald.
boy would see his father die. To make my guilt even worse, later I found out why Toshio lost the fake bills.
My warlock is a
His wife and her
49
lover
now.
had stolen them.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Those two fell into the ocean and disappeared. Their corpses were never even found.
So Arakawa-san lost both his parents.
I don't know how
One
far I
after
have to
the
get
other.
inside of the
And his only other friends,
Beyond
the
Light
theater
campaign
troupe,
before I can
disbanded soon after.
do the
without
special
their
law
leader.
sectors.
Masumi Arakawa became a drifter, along
I have
with a
no
few
idea.
other actors.
Because like I
couldn't
have a
trust
subclass and
anyone.
everything, but now I'm
So what
doing
other path was
like
there
that
for
first.
You gotta do it
except
once.
becoming Yakuza
You gotta do
and
each law sector
Kabuto?
first.
Okay, I do. All right.
Well, after you not each one, just one specific that has
Okay.
the daily thing to it.
Bet.
Arakawa joined a
You're talking to a
low-ranking
Tetris guy right now?
family in the Tojo clan
I
called the Hikawa
was playing
family.
Tetris last night with
Life
the
wasn't easy for him there. They were the
on
kind of family that
expert,
took
and
hits
there were
without
so many
thinking
times where it was
twice.
just like
Really?
I'm doing my thing,
Yes.
and then out of nowhere
So
the
they were
block
always
just gets
in need
placed, and then
ways
3
to
more get placed
dispose
on top
a
of it.
body.
Yeah,
Masumi
And
I
Arakawa
beat
was
the
tapped to help
boss
with
on
that,
expert.
Ugh,
and he was extremely cautious.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna the final
To do
stage.
he
It was very
started
good. I
coming
beat my
all the
first
way
try.
to the
for
homeless
you.
camp in Ijincho.
Really? Even though the family was based in Tokyo?
I'm so proud.
Why?
I was
Well,
pogged. I sat down. I was like,
truthfully, he
oh,
wanted an excuse
I'm not
to
even
come
ready.
to
I want to hit the ready
Yokohama,
button. And I end up
because it would afford him opportunities to hunt his father's killer.
20 speed Tetris.
I see. So Arakawa-san was using the homeless camp to dispose of bodies all the way back then.
That's
Indeed.
ridiculous. That is so
As
fast.
for his hunt, he researched
Very fast.
Yakuza
It's
and
instant,
criminals
pretty much.
every time he was here.
I think it was instant.
All he
It was-
started with
You just have to
was a
like
single
read what the
clue.
next block is and pray that it goes.
His own childhood
where you
memory
want
of
it
the
to.
suspicious waiter he saw here that night. Eventually, 7 years after the murder, I received an invitation to come here. He signed his invitation Masumi Arakawa. It was a bold declaration, and I knew immediately the running would be futile. So I came here, alone. I didn't even bring a bodyguard.
Why the hell not?
Well, to put it simply, I was prepared to die.
But, I mean,
In this line of work, there are no good ways to die. And I can think of worse ways to go that would not give that boy the justice he'd earned. The memory of what I'd done to him never left me, you know. It was always like a small bone stuck in my throat. He was sitting right where you are now.
here?
Yes. He didn't look a day over 20. But his eyes had that hard, flinty gaze of an old killer. I couldn't help myself. I told him everything. I told him why I killed Toshio Arakawa. I even told him about the secret counterfeiting. I figured I was dead anyway. He had a gun in his hand, and all he had to do was pull the trigger. But he never once interrupted me. When I'd finished, he slowly stood up. I stopped him as he turned to leave. "Didn't you come here for revenge?" I asked.
And? What did he say?
He said, "If only you had ignored my invitation, then I could have shot you in the back." Then he left.
Boss.
In 1984, the 10,000 yen bill changed from the face of Prince Shotoku to Yukichi Fukuzawa. By that time, Arakawa had found his own Yakuza family, so I sent him a gift.
What was it?
A fresh batch of crisp fake bills featuring Yukichi Fukuzawa. They were defective prints with nothing on the back. Not exactly legal tender.
Then how was that a gift?
It's hard to explain. If I had to say, it was out of gratitude.
Sure, but for what?
I should have died that day I met with Arakawa. It would have been right. And yet he spared me. Not only that, but he lifted a terrible weight from my chest. Furthermore, it's not an exaggeration to say the equilibrium among the Ijin Three continues to this day because of him.
Wow.
I owe him an unfathomable debt. And one day I must pay it back.
Gesundheit.
The defective bills were how I chose to communicate the sentiment. The counterfeiting secret is Ijincho's weakness. And it was only thanks to Arakawa that the Ijin Three could continue to secretly wield that power. But of course, that means if he ever feels like it was a mistake to let me live, he can use the fake bills to unravel everything I've built. The gift wasn't the bills themselves. They were leverage. I actually wrote something on the back to that effect. Neither justice nor mercy should tip the scale. It means that those in power must reward and punish where necessary. I felt it was an appropriate message. I suppose the writing is faded at this point.
Whoa. So that's the whole story.
Up till this moment. But now I'm sitting across from a man holding one of those fake bills. Which, of course, is a message from Arakawa that only I could understand. The message is, Masumi Arakawa sees you as a beloved family member.
Arakawa-san thinks of me as family.
You would not have placed that bill in your pocket lightly. Do you see its significance now? After everything I've told you? There is almost no doubt in my mind that Arakawa did not want you killed. So he didn't shoot you out of malice. He shot you so that you would be brought here, be saved by the homeless, and eventually meet up with me. Do you see? That's everything I can tell you.
That's plenty. Thank you, Chairman. I see it all now. I always kind of figured.
You did? Well, it's your move now. I've only told you what I know, so...
It's okay. That's enough. I trust you.
Well, I don't hear that often.
Yeah, neither do I. Not even from my friends. But those friends are trustworthy to me. And so are you. I believe everything you said. And my faith in Arakawa-san is coming back strong.
Kasuga,
Yeah?
are you A blood relative of Arakawa's?
No, it's not like that.
I see. Well, he must have been happy to have such loyalty as yours. As proud as any father, I think.
Illuminations, Chapter 10, Yeeted.
Nagatacho has been rocked by party chair Ogikubo's sudden retirement due to illness. Long a central figure in politics, Ogikubo was the Prime Minister's last ally in keeping Parliament together.
An election shall be held to reaffirm the will of the people. I look forward to a new Citizens Liberal Party and a new cabinet.
The Prime Minister made more shockwaves later that day. In the afternoon, he announced he would appoint Ryo Aoki to Ogikubo's now vacant post. Aoki will be the first sitting governor to also serve as the ruling party's chair. This bold move is sure to have ripple effects.
How are you feeling, former chairman?
Surely the governor of Tokyo can read. My sign says no visitors.
Oh, suddenly rules are important to you.
Naturally.
Shouldn't you concern yourself with the rules you've already broken? For example, counterfeiting. Your crimes put the entire national economy at risk.
Do you know how many lives were saved by what you call a crime? Hundreds. Any politician can say they built a road or passed a law. But how many can say they caught people who fell through the cracks? You think you're talented enough to do that in my stead?
Oh, I've got plenty of talents. I just use them very differently compared to you. For example, I managed to fit your downfall into my already very busy schedule.
A governor as the party chair. Nothing could be more ripe for corruption.
Oh, everything I'm gonna do will be labeled scandalous by withered old men like you. But by next year, Japan will have a new standard, and it will have been written by me.
Spoken like a true amateur.
Amateur, huh? Let me ask you. Do you remember my first election 10 years ago? I asked you for the Citizens Liberal Party endorsement. You
Dude, fuck you.
Your exact words were, Bleach Japan is a bunch of kids playing at politics.
Where am I?
Your home district is Kanagawa's second. Isn't that right? I'm happy to tell you, Bleach Japan will be running a candidate there in the next election cycle. And he'll have the Citizens Liberal Party's ringing endorsement. So, how does it feel to have everything taken from you by a bunch of kids? Our candidate's victory in Kanagawa's District 2 is all but certain. So I've come up with a plan for taking out the trash in Ijincho. Of course, we'll probably lose half the population.
Are you calling the people of Ijincho trash?
I'm calling them disposable.
Pardon me?
What did you call them? People who fell through the cracks? Can't you see that's their own fault for becoming so dependent on the gray zones? They're responsible for maintaining their home, and they failed. That's what makes them disposable. But I must be going. As I said, I've got a busy schedule. Happy retirement, my former chair. I truly wish that for you. I hope you'll visit Ijincho after its beautiful new developments are complete. You'll hardly recognize it. And I can't wait to see the look on your face when you see it.
So, is your hideout?
Yep, go ahead. Make yourself at home.
I'd love to, but, where could I even do that?
Yes. The square footage of this place leaves something to be desired.
Well, excuse me. I'm hearing some pretty high standards for a couple of pad crashers.
We're not crashing it. Nambasan gave us permission.
Who the hell says no to Jungi Han when he has to stay the night? I mean, it's freaking Jungi Han.
Hey, where are the rest of your people now that Komijul HQ is gone?
They're fixing the surveillance system. It will take some time for it to be fully restored.
Well, I get why Jungi Han is staying here, since his place is a pile of ashes. But what's Zhao's excuse?
It's not like I could just keep living in Qingchen after stepping down from the Liumang. Wouldn't have sent the right message. So, I've joined the ranks of the homeless.
Still doesn't explain why you need to stay here.
Maybe because information collects where people do. And this group does seem to be in the know.
We do? But we don't even know what happened to Bleach Japan. Did the police ever put a stop to all that craziness?
The police? Kasuga-kun, haven't you seen the news?
No, haven't had the time.
Well, Bleach Japan's reputation in Ijincho, hell, all of Japan, is golden after the Komijul thing.
What?
Oh yeah, you wouldn't believe the headlines. Despite peril, brave Bleach Japan topples Komijul gang. Grassroots org achieves what police never could. Shit like that.
Wow, great journalism. No spin at all.
That's not even the worst of it. The reports say that Komijul committed arson during its fight with Bleach Japan. And in the blaze, Bleach Japan director Ogasawara perished.
He's dead?
Wait, what happened? He was definitely alive after the fire. That's when we interrogated him.
Yeah, then the Omi Alliance rescued him. Why would he be... Wait, did they?
Yes, they probably killed him. I had that thought right away. At least he died the way he wanted to, as a hero of the revolution.
That guy? A hero? Why'd they kill him?
Because he squawked like a bird when you interrogated him. Why wouldn't they off the guy? Now they're just milking his death for all it's worth. Honestly, it's a brilliant move, making it look like he died in the Komijul fire. No crime reports, cops and doctors wouldn't bat an eye. And Bleach Japan gets a nice, tragic death to go on about.
Damn. I wish we'd picked a fight with dumber enemies.
But what can we do? Go to the police and explain how we abducted Ogasawara?
What would be the point? Half the force is on Mabuchi's payroll. No, they would just book our asses.
So Aoki has everyone marching along to his little tune. All in step.
Young master.
Okay, Bleach Japan's got us by the short hairs there. But what about the fact they were trespassing on Komijul property?
Well, they must have figured the public would think the ends justified the means. And they were right. The public thinks Bleach Japan is the hero of this story. The police will never prosecute them for trespassing.
At this rate, the Komijul and the Liumang are going to be extinct in Ijincho. And people like you who give us shelter will be an endangered species. I wish I didn't have to say this, but I suggest you make other living arrangements.
I can't. I'm waiting for someone to contact me here.
Who?
Arakawa-san, he's about to go all in with his next gamble. When that happens, he'll need strong allies.
More than he's already got?
I can't say anymore. I'm sorry.
Me too.
I'll be in touch.
Well then. But isn't Masumi Arakawa the man who shot you?
The boss wasn't trying to kill me. He shot me so I could live.
Sorry, but don't you think that's still kinda fucked up?
It's a long story. Buy me a beer sometime and I'll tell you all about it. But right now, while we've got you on the team, we need to get shit done. And we need to stock
Do
up
you
on money,
remember?
and
Poggy.
supplies, because nobody knows what the hell will happen
Talking to
next.
myself.
Good job.
That's for sure.
Sorry, I've been like a half-hour cutscene. Zao joined the party. Let's go, spiky hair man.
Let's go.
See homeless dude.
Let's go.
Got a different homeless dude. With the fall of the Great Wall of Muscle of Yokohama's rising crime rate, the city's villains grow even more powerful. Be on the lookout as you may encounter formidable, never-before-seen foes. Zal's rather demanding experience as the leader of Yokohama Lumag has toughened him up against silence. Alright, sorry, let's get out of here. Party? Edit. Non-bug get replaced with Zal. Whose job is gangster. Don't mind if I do. What does he have here? Can't see it. I could just pog up his stats. Does he have a karaoke song? Hold on. I'll give him some flowers and knock out his bonding for the time being.
I'm no pro or anything,
Let's
but
see. He does have a song. And you can have Ichiban sing it too. I'll do it twice. Don't mind if I do.
You're gonna
Hex
feel
stew.
this one.
Stir Hill's cauldron, hot pot party. Go now, Jack. What's on the menu for tonight? Curry, hamburger, find your counter. We got you started. Woo, woo! The demons are brewing up a hellish stew. Made of you, worthless you.
Ah, my fingers feel depressed at once. Get me out of here. Quit. I'll do it again. 500 yen is trash money. I'll change.
Hope you're ready for this.
Ooh, it's about to get real.
About to get poggy. Let's go.
Stir Hill's cauldron, hot pot party.
Yo, you gotta be kidding me.
Go now, Jack. What's on the menu for tonight? Find your counter.
Crazy hamburger.
It's a horrible. Woo, woo! The demons are brewing up a hellish stew.
I heard teens have demons, but okay.
Worthless humans cooked into a roux. Shitposters, hot takes, all you trolls. You little fish, you're all in tonight's
Little fish.
Hey! Cabbage on its juicy for grills. None of that will satiate the beast. Talk about the flesh and the demons.
Stop. Okay.
Your blood is wetter than kimchi. Operate the flab around your guts. Operate to devour it all.
Restart. Like, the scene changes and then it just pulls me out of the karaoke.
Let's get ready
Like, what's
for
going
rock.
on? Why is he beating the drum set with the leaks?
You're gonna feel this one.
I'm gonna feel this one, dude.
Stir hell's cauldron, hot pot party. Go now, Yakuza. What's on the menu for tonight? Curry, hamburger, find your counter.
Crazy hamburger. Woo woo.
Brewing up a hellish stew. Made of you, worthless humans cooked into a roux. Hey, shit posters, hot takes, all you trolls. You little fish, you're all in.
Couldn't imagine running a song about internet trolls.
Yeah.
This seems so weird to me, and it's metal.
Welcome to the real world.
Listen here, you swines. You're just a form cross poster who doesn't even know what the actual form's about. My eyes. What about the vampire teeth? He's done it. No vampire teeth, actually. Seeing things.
Don't see things.
I'm a real front man.
Now let me master the version with Ichiban singing.
All right, I'm up.
Sing Hex Stew.
Sing me a song, you're a piano
This
man.
one's for you.
Stir hell's cauldron, hot pot party. Now, Yakuza, what's on the menu for tonight? Curry, hamburger, paella, banya cauda, or we can just serve you.
We can just serve you up, huh?
The demons are brewing up a hellish stew. Made of you, worthless humans cooked into a roux.
Not gonna lie. After playing Tetris so much, I saw that there's a new Puyo Puyo Cross Tetris.
Yeah, Puyo Puyo
and I
Tetris on the
definitely-
Nintendo Switch.
There's a new one coming out, apparently. There's a sequel. Comes out late next month. I'm definitely thinking about it.
That will satiate the beasts. Drop your pound of flesh in the demon's blood.
I don't like Puyo Puyo, but I like Tetris.
Puyo Puyo is fun.
Offer it the flap around your guts. Offer it to devour it all. In the depths of your despair, the pot is dark, deep in your nightmare. The demon pots, we're dining in hell, hard enough.
There we go. It's already an A++, I know, because I'm perfect at karaoke. You can't stop me.
You got
I've
pipes
mastered every
in
song
your
so
eye.
far. Might be like one more song in the game, unless I spend 20 bucks. Alright, where's Zhao Yao? I'm gonna give him like a bunch of boutiques. Okay, sorry. What's he think about bonsai? He loves bonsai. Okay, let's do it. You can have 32 bonsai thrown at him. I'm ready. I'm really 28.
Yo! How goes it, Kasuga-kun?
Look at you. You're blending in already, Zhao.
You know it. Turns out drinks taste a lot better without
That's not the new
bodyguards
arms,
watching
what?
your every move.
Yeah? So that was the life of the former leader of the Yokohama Lumang.
That shit was dumped on me from the day I was born. Kind of a drag. Growing up knowing you had a fucking script.
Well, the nice thing about alcohol is it tastes better if you complain while you're drinking it.
Ah, sure. Enjoying my childhood trauma. But I guess after all the
Good
shit
jacket
you've been
at.
through, you've earned it.
She left it upstairs, I guess. I don't know.
Your dad led the Yokohama Lumang before you, right? What's he doing now?
He died a few years after retiring. Right in his bed. He's
Apparently
lucky he
can
never
hit
got
the
shot or
triumph
stabbed.
score of at
Yeah,
least
yeah.
20,000.
That's a real
Like the
achievement
active
for a
triumph.
gang boss.
Yeah, I guess so. He only managed it by sleeping with one eye open his whole life. No matter how you slice it, it's not a great way to live. I sure as hell didn't want to lead the Liumang. But Mabuchi, this shit was always up his alley.
You mean Laoma? What even happened to that guy? I haven't even seen him since we kicked his ass during the whole Omi Alliance thing.
Don't you know what the Yokohama Liumang does to traders? They use them as filling that goes inside meat buns.
What? You serious? Right now Laoma is... Baoma?
You're fucking hilarious. But I was kidding. You think I'm the kind of guy who'd do that?
Look, if you killed him, I'll be cool about it. Or at least I'll do my best. Just be straight with me. Is he inside a meat bun?
Oh, you're softer than any bun out there. Look at you all worried.
I just don't like the thought of that happening to people.
Even creeps like Mabuchi, who murdered your boss without a second thought.
Even creeps like him. All I wanted was to knock that guy's lights out and hand him to the cops.
How was it a
But by the time
crossover
his
event
lights
between
were
Monster
nice
Hunter
knocked
and the
out,
Monster Hunter
he only
movie?
showed up,
What?
and you never saw him again, did you?
It's just like I don't see how it's a
You did kill
crossover
him,
event.
didn't you?
They're doing an event because the
All right, I'm bored of
Maybe they're gonna
messing with
have
you.
the
It's like-
characters
I
from
didn't
the
kill him.
movie as outfits.
Oh,
Mila Jovovich is
Had a
being
feeling you didn't.
made into the
Oh
game.
god.
hard to explain.
I just don't see how was it a crossover event. It's
I
the
don't get
same
that vibe
thing.
from you.
I don't know, maybe we'll get trucks with
In
turrets.
fact, it always kind of felt to me like
Oh,
your
let's see.
hard-ass act was just a show for your boys. A front you put on.
Is that out?
It's a little
When's that
harsh
come
there,
out?
eh, Kasuga-kun?
You don't strike me as the type to lock guys up or torture them either. Especially one of your own, like Mabuchi.
It came out today.
Are you serious?
On what? Is
You
it
know,
just
I call
straight?
the
Is
same
it,
place home.
where can you
Nothing
watch
to
Go
it?
straight to
Make
DVD
his
because it's
life.
going to be a bad movie.
I don't know.
Now, Song-Hui's
Also,
in
it's
charge
like
of
a
Yokohama
pandemic.
Lumang. It's up to her to settle things if
That's true.
Mabuchi shows his face again. He's the reason Komi Jewel's a pile of ashes, so I don't think she'll be treating him as nice as I would.
Probably not.
Which
It's
is
an
why
Amazon Prime
I
movie?
gave Mabuchi the heads up and told him to leave Ijincho.
Really? Well, that's taking things into your own hands.
A few of his boys went with him,
No, that's not the
and
right
I
movie.
forgave the ones that wanted to stick around. It's a hard reset. Clean slate for everyone. Song-Hui was good with that.
You two are more generous than I thought.
Mabuchi brought in a lot of cash for us, and he was damn consistent about it. The fact that he kept a bunch of shit hidden from us was an issue, but I could deal.
So you knew about it and you just let it slide?
The guys from my dad's generation were pissed, for sure. Kept saying Mabuchi was breaking sacred laws of the gang. But what did they expect from a sadist in Japan's most famous gray zone? That he'd have a moral compass or some shit?
Seriously.
How about we toast to Mabuchi, wherever he might be?
Well, He's no friend of mine, but what the hell? If you can cheer to him, I can too.
Now we're talking.
I can't find an answer how to watch this movie.
Damn.
Oh, a burger just flipped. Hold on, I gotta go flip a burger. Be right
Okay.
back.
Okay. Just keep flinching. Love it.
Maybe. So apparently the Google listings are wrong and it comes out the 25th.
Okay.
On Christmas. It's a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie! Oh no!
Alright, Zao, here's 6 more bonsai, or 8 more bonsai and a pansy. Is a pansy another 25? Let me see. What's your other flower favorite? It's not pansy, so I'll give you a pansy to finish it off. Or I'll just give it to you then. It's a bonsai? He loves bonsai, dude. Dear present. Bonsai. He loves bonsai, what can I say?
What can you say?
I was wondering if anyone would show up, but didn't expect it to be you. Aren't you busy? Should you really be drinking right now?
I'll drink whenever the hell I want to drink, Zhao. And don't forget, I was a regular at this place before you were.
Oh, is that how you want to play it? Okay, well, if we're doing that, then who's the newcomer in Ijincho, Kasuga? You or me?
Fair point.
And this whole schooling you as your senpai thing sure is embarrassing.
Yeah, you win.
Anyway, sit down, yeah?
You know, when we're out drinking like this, it's hard to imagine you ever being the leader of a gang.
Everyone's the same once you strip off the mask they put on for work. Rich, poor, leader, follower, whatever. You never know what people are really like.
Right. You can't judge someone just by looks alone. The important part is what's on the inside.
You catch on fast, Kasuga-kun.
Nah, I'm just stating the obvious, man.
Gotta look at someone's character to see whether they'd be a good leader or not. All jokes aside, there's this whole idea of being next in line just because you're the boss's son. No logic in it, but it's always there.
Yeah, can't choose who your parents are. Still, wasn't there some way you could have given up the throne? Not everybody's cut out to run a gang. Nothing wrong with that. And I'm sure somebody else would have stepped up if you had stepped down. Most important thing in any group is the leader being a good fit.
I don't know if I was a good fit or not, but I was a pretty sharp kid back then. If I put my mind to it, I could excel at pretty much anything. Sports, school, all that shit. And I don't remember losing any fights either. I was a lot craftier than the other kids.
Sounds like you were pretty talented.
I just didn't give a flying fuck, that's all. Guess that's what happens when you're good at everything.
Real modest, aren't you?
Up until I swapped places with my old man, we were always fighting with our rivals in Chinatown. But after their boss, Lau Ka Long, bit the big one, the Ijin 3 got their stalemate going.
Your rivals from Chinatown. Are you talking about the Snake Flower Triad? They were pretty crazy.
They pulled out of Japan a long time ago. There's not many of them left.
Oh, so you became the leader of the Yokohama Liumang after the Snake Flower Triad was out of the picture?
Just about. Had to have been almost 10 years ago. Honestly, the whole thing was a pain in the ass. Ogi Kubo let me in on the whole counterfeit bills thing right away. Also told me about how the stalemate in Ijincho was rigged from the start.
Man, still can't hardly believe that.
The only people in the Liumang that knew about that were my dad and the old guard. The new boys kept saying they wanted to move in and take over, but it was always up to me to keep them on their leashes. Then it was no ambition this, and a weak-ass bitch that. Sounds like a fun job, eh?
Haven't seen this side of you before, Zhao. You're really starting to open up and let loose. How many have you had?
It's not like I gotta worry about the gang anymore, so I'll get as drunk as I damn well please. Is that a problem?
Hell no, it's not. I was just saying, it's been fun.
Fun, huh? Well, maybe I have shown too much of my hand. If I was still the boss, my bodyguards would have stopped me by now.
Oh, really? I hope I didn't kill your buzz.
Nah, I know you're the kind of guy that just says whatever pops into his head. I'm gonna go sober up.
Yeah, sure. Let's get another drink when you're up for it.
Sounds good. Same goes for you, all right?
Yeah, looking forward to it.
There, here's some more bonsais, my friend. the pansies now. Bonsai. See the preload went up for Cyberpunk?
I did not.
Yep. Got it installed and I'm ready.
How big?
53 gigabytes, but without the day one patch, which is like 20, I think. So.
I have to make some room.
And this comes out Wednesday night at like 7 p.m. something like that, our time. But if you're not getting on your PC, right? So I'm gonna be flying to New Zealand for the day, probably.
Oh yeah?
I think I can fly to New
Nice.
Zealand.
Could use one of those myself. Mind if I join
Where
you?
you gonna buy it from?
Sure.
GOG or
I was
Steam?
getting kind of bored
What?
drinking by myself.
Steam? We can buy it from Steam or GOG.
Isn't it going to just be on Games Pass?
Cyberpunk?
I
No.
thought it
What are
was.
the Yokohama Liumang guys up
No.
to now?
Yeet, I guess
Any
I'm
of
just
them
gonna
ever
have to
swing
buy
by
it.
your place?
Nah,
I just bought it.
I don't see him too much. And the ones who sided with Mabuchi seem pretty hesitant to get anywhere near me.
Yo.
Sounds about right. I mean, they did stage a full-on mutiny and shit. Do you ever wonder why they sided with Mabuchi instead of you?
Not really. But if I know those guys as well as I think, I'd say it was because Mabuchi was easy to understand.
Easy to understand? How you figure?
His goals were crystal clear. Everything for money and power. If rules had to be broken or blood had to be spilled, so be it.
So, in Mabuchi's world, as long as you had balls and muscle, you could work your way to the top.
Even if you stepped on your boys to get there. Long as you swore
That
loyalty
was
to
43 gigabytes of day one
I
patch.
could get messed up fast. And I thought I heard somewhere that Mabuchi was actually pretty smart. That true?
Oh yeah. He spoke multiple languages, ran numbers better than a calculator, and most important of all, he was just fine with breaking kneecaps. He was born for the underworld. If he'd been Tojo, I bet he would have gone even farther than you.
But I guess it was fate, me getting locked up like that.
Right, sorry. I shouldn't be dredging shit like that up anyway, Kasuga-kun.
I ain't trying to make you feel guilty. No need to apologize.
Gotcha. Anyway, what I wanted to say was that the younger Mabuchi had some talent. Yeah. I even went as far as asking Mabuchi to be my right-hand man because of it.
Huh? You mean you're the guy that gave him all that power?
Oh yeah. I guess I am.
Come on, man. That's not something to laugh about.
Nah, you see, Mabuchi was just that special of a guy back then. He wasn't the type to just chill on the sidelines. Guy won me over too.
How exactly?
When Mabuchi was younger, he just had this, I don't know, I guess you'd call it aspiration. He was going straight to the top, and he had the talent to get there too. He had something I didn't. It's probably why I was so drawn to him. Just like you, Kasuga-kun. Now that I think about it, you two are pretty alike.
Come on, don't say that. Not when Mabuchi became such a scumbag. How'd that happen anyway?
Thinking about it now, I imagine it had something to do with him being promoted to officer. From that moment on, he would challenge me right out in the open. Didn't matter that we were roughly the same age and I outranked him. He probably didn't like that I was born into the top spots, nor that I kept up the weak cooperation policy. Mabuchi was pretty goddamn assertive. As far as I know, I was nothing but a thorn in his side.
Well, then, sounds like you should have known he'd betray you eventually.
Nah, I probably would have trusted him no matter what he said. But I know my old man and his boys didn't think too highly of him. They said he'd betray us for sure, so it would be better to get rid of him sooner rather than later. They were pretty quick to try and make him disappear.
So what'd you do?
I fought back. I probably mentioned this earlier, but I think it's really dumb when people kill the guys in their own inner circles.
There we go.
This was during a time when responsibility was starting to fall to me and Mabuchi instead of the old boys. Stomping out Mabuchi was like stomping out our future. So I stood up to them. The elders were pretty tough to persuade. That's the first and only time in my life I'd grovel like that.
You did all that for Mabuchi? Why go through that for a guy who hates you?
True, Mabuchi was a fucking weirdo, and at times an evil son of a bitch. He wasn't likable either. But he had a passion I didn't have. He had talent, and above everything else, I thought of him as my brother. You can see why I don't want him dead.
You're right. Sorry, I was out of line.
I'm getting used to you doing that. Don't worry about it.
Good thing you get me.
Why is that?
Because talking like this is great. I see now you're a pretty passionate guy, Zhao.
Oh, me?
Yeah, stop fronting so much already. You're always pulling that shit. That's why I could never figure you the hell out. Now that we're a couple drinks in, I feel like I'm finally getting to know the real Zhao. You got a lot of heart, and you care about your family. That goes a long way in my book.
It's kind of embarrassing when you say it out loud like that.
Look at you, your face is all red. What's up with that?
Just drunk. Let's keep knocking him back, yeah?
Sure. To Zhao-senpai, for keeping it real. Cheers!
Cheers.
There's 2 more long cutscenes I can play this game that I've been playing for the last hour.
Welcome.
Not you, bartender.